When Alex was only a little boy, his parents abandoned him because of his disability. However, he got adopted by a caring doctor. What he did next to repay her is unbelievable. It was 1 a.m. when Alex's parents carefully snuck out of the house, looking behind them several times to be sure they weren't being watched. They placed the baby in the backseat of their clunky car and sped off. About 30 minutes later, they got to the doorpost of the hospital where Alex had been born. Luckily for them, the security guard was nowhere to be seen. He could be out at any moment, so they needed to act fast. Alex's dad didn't even bother coming out of the car. His mom quickly took him out of his seat, placed him in a basket, and dropped him on the floor. Without looking back, she ran back into the car and left with her boyfriend. Neither of them felt guilty for abandoning their only child, all because he didn't fit into what they could call a handsome and healthy baby. Alex was born with a strange abnormal growth around his neck. This disability created a barrier between him and his parents, as they found it hard to connect with him. Most times after his mom breastfed him, she would immediately put them away and lock him up in his room, so any unexpected guest wouldn't see him. His parents also hated the horrible stares they got whenever they went out with him. Besides that, their finances suffered a lot because Alex required around-the-clock care, so they blamed the little boy for their misfortune. Unable to bear it any longer, they abandoned him at the hospital. The little boy lay there in the cold without crying or making any sound. It was as if he knew he was all alone in the world and needed to be strong for himself. It wasn't until 7 a.m. before a cleaner finally noticed the basket in the corner where Alex's mother had carefully hidden it. She was horrified when she realized that the abandoned sleeping 6-month-old baby had an abnormal growth on his neck. Filled with worry and pity, she quickly lifted the baby in her arms. She took him inside the hospital to keep him warm from the cold that had already turned his skin pale. The cleaner wasted no time and sharing the terrifying discovery with the staff. They were all worried for the little boy and did their best to make him feel better. They fed him, cradled him, and sang for him while they did the hospital director's arrival. Hours later, the director of the clinic, Dr. Amelia, arrived. She was well known for her kindness and compassion and had earned a reputation for her dedication to saving lives. Her unique approach of not charging exorbitant fees, like many other clinics, made her widely respected and loved among the people in her community. As Dr. Amelia settled into her office, ready to begin her day's work, she suddenly heard a soft knock on the door. She invited the person in and was surprised to see the cleaner, holding nothing but an empty basket in her hands. In a gentle tone, Dr. Amelia encouraged her staff to share whatever the problem was. Through tears, the cleaner recounted how she had picked up the baby boy with an abnormal growth on his neck, left out in the cold by the clinic entrance. There was nothing else in the basket except a dirty paper stating the boy's name. Concerned about the child's well-being, Dr. Amelia immediately requested that the staff lead her to where the baby was being kept. When they got to the room, Dr. Amelia was moved at the sight of little Alex. He had the saddest eyes she had ever seen, and that broke her heart. She could also tell that he was in lots of pain because of the growth on his neck. It was important to report the situation to the authorities and Dr. Amelia to adjust this. She also got approval to care for the abandoned sick boy, ready to help. She instructed the staff to place the baby in the intensive care unit there. The doctors and nurses looked after Alex with great care, making sure he took the right medicines to keep them healthy and strong for the surgery he would later require. Dr. Amelia requested the help of cops and child services to locate Alex's parents, but all their efforts were futile. They had even managed to locate their house, but when they got in there, it was empty. It was as if they had just vanished into thin air. As the weeks rolled by, Dr. Amelia spent time with Alex, constantly visiting him in his room, where he lay in his cot helpless and scared she would feed him and assure him that everything would be all right. Weeks later, Alex was finally fit for surgery. The little boy was wheeled into the opera waiting room, and a team of experts worked on removing the growth that had covered his neck and face, making it extremely difficult for him to eat or feed. After several intense hours of operating on Alex, The surgery was successfully completed. Dr. Amelia couldn't hold back her tears when she saw Alex's transformation. With the growth gone, the little boy could pass for a model. He had perfect facial features. But most importantly, Dr. Amelia knew he had a resilient spirit. He could bring joy to any lost soul, something his parents had been so blind to see. When Alex woke up after the surgery, Dr. Amelia rushed to his side. She fed him herself, and for the first time the little boy ate to satisfaction. The entire staff cheered when they saw his happy, contented smile. With all the weight of the growth gone, Alex finally felt comfortable in his own skin. He was such a sweet soul, and Dr. Amelia couldn't stand the thought of him being taken into an orphanage. She wasn't sure if anyone would love or care for Alex, and she would. It would be too much of a risk to place his face in someone else's hands. And so, Dr. Amelia decided she would do something unexpected. She would adopt Alex herself. Within weeks, the adoption process was finalized, and Dr. Amelia officially became Alex's mother. She loved him without any reservation, helped him with his schoolwork, and raised him into a kind and honest person. As Alex became older, he developed a strong desire to succeed in life. He eventually gained college admission where he began studying architecture. He studied really hard and learned a lot of helpful skills. He graduated with honors and started working in a reputable company. Throughout this journey, Dr. Amelia was always there, supporting and encouraging him to do his best. Alex faced many challenges along the way, but he didn't give up. And one day, something incredible happened. He got a contract worth millions of dollars to build houses in a luxury residential area. Alex dedicated his utmost effort to this project, harnessing his architectural expertise to craft homes that will captivate people. As the project reached its conclusion, the results showcased splendidly crafted houses of exquisite beauty and quality. Owing to his unwavering commitment and diligent efforts, Alex achieved remarkable success. He was featured in magazines and interviewed by several local outlets, and his success story went viral around the whole country. That's when his biological parents discovered that not only their child was still alive, but that he was happy and thriving. He didn't even have that strange growth on his face anymore. So they reached out to him pleading for an opportunity to be his parents again. However, Alex bluntly informed them that he didn't have the room for them in his heart. They had left during a time when he needed them the most, and now he was inclined to reciprocate the same sentiment toward them. As the years passed by, Alex became even more successful and wealthier. He owed everything to Dr. Amelia. If she hadn't adopted him, then he wouldn't be where he was today. In fact, he might have been dead. As Alex would often tell his workers, Alex knew it was time to finally repay his mother for everything she had done for him. So he decided to give her something she had always yearned for. What he did next is truly amazing. Alex built a big hospital just for a Dr. Amelia and filled it with the latest and past medical tools. When she saw it, she was incredibly happy and grateful for the amazing young man she was lucky enough to call her son. She was glad that she had followed her instincts and adopted Alex. In the end, both of them were very happy with the wonderful and loving relationship they are created together. Want an inspiring ending? What do you think about Alex's decision to forsake his biological parents forever? Would you ever adopt a baby born with medical issues? Tell us in the comments below. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.